everyone, my name is Anna and I welcome you to my home. In today's program we're going to talk about the importance of music. For some people, music is the way to relax. For others, it's the way to have fun. And for many people, music is a great passion, same as for my today's guest, Mazhar Ahmadi, a math teacher and a professional flutist. Hello Mazhar, how are you?
Hello Anna, thanks for inviting me to your program.
I'm really happy that you made some time to join this program and visit my kitchen and maybe have some fruit.
Thank you. I would like to say hi to all the audience who are watching us on Cambridge TV. Thanks again.
Thank you. So you guys watching Cambridge TV, and one of the Cambridge teachers here is going to talk about teaching experience and also his passion as flutist, right?
Yeah, exactly. Well,
I've got my first question. Not everybody knows where you're coming from, right? Where are you from?
I originally from Iran. I came from Iran and I was born and bred there. Then my university was there. I have a master's degree in water resource engineering. I was in Tabriz University for 6 consecutive years till I got my master's degree. Then I came here in Erbil in 2018, if I'm not mistaken. Then ever since I started teaching math here in Cambridge as a math teacher.
So do you enjoy teaching?
Oh, definitely. It's full of challenge, every day is going to be different, new things, everything. Yeah, I like it. Perfect. I'm quite happy with it.
So, and apart from teaching, you have this passion to play flute.
Oh, definitely. Music is, for me is a passion. A way of escapism, to be chill out, a part that filling my free times and spare times with it, and it's kind of my life. It's mingled, twisted with my life. So yeah, I came from in a family where music runs in it. My uncles were both and are actually musicians. One of them is violinist and the other one is flutist. So as the sound of the flute was mesmerizing to me, so I decided to go for the flute. So my uncle was my first ever teacher, and I would be grateful for that. Thanks, my uncle. Yeah.
What is his name?
Oh, Ismail. Yeah, of course.
You can say hi, Uncle Ismail.
My uncle Ismail Ahmadi. He's living in Erbil.
As well.
Yeah, as well. He has his own business is very successful. And again, thank you, my dear uncle.
That is great.
Yes.
So, have you ever considered to play in a concert together?
Well, yes, quite often we play together, but not in like a concert. But we play together, and my cousin as well. He's a pianist as well. So yeah, together, 3 of us will play quite normally. Yes, of course.
So where do you usually play?
Well, my home, their home, doesn't matter. When we gather together, so we'll start to play whatever we want. We enjoy life.
Have you ever considered playing in public or maybe joining an orchestra?
Together, as far as I remember, no. But for me, myself, yes. I think once I was in Philharmonic Orchestra, Mahabad Philharmonic Orchestra, where the local people gathered together and, in a concert, they will play together. So Philharmonic means the local people in that area will gather together. Then we'll play as a orchestra, and we have a composer. We had a composer. Then yes, rarely actually, not a lot. So yeah, once I have had such an experience.
How about Erbil? Have you ever considered joining an orchestra here in Erbil?
Well, honestly, no, because here my time is completely, I'm too busy to my deadlines, to everything. Teaching is a really difficult job. So I didn't have time for going and asking for orchestra, something like that.
So I would like you to share some information about teaching and how time-consuming this is, because many people, they think that you only have these hours while in school and teaching the lesson, but nobody actually thinks of the paperwork and other tasks which you have to complete after working hours. So
right.
just Break
I
this
think
down
this
for
is
us.
a dead wrong, idea because to me, as math teacher, it's really, difficult somehow because I should prepare myself for those new concepts, new subjects that I'm going to teach the next day, and sometimes I have to prepare myself for it, because it's new. So I should prepare myself. Then I should try to make them understand, the concept. So it's not that easy. I always, keep myself busy with the studying the new concept, everything. It's not at all an easy job.
So basically, you have to work 24/7, but you still make time for your passion.
Oh, definitely. We do have time a bit for for the extra, and we have spare time indeed. Everyone does have the spare time.
Even though people tend to say we don't have.
Well, we do actually. If we think, we always do have time for ourselves. It can be sport, it can be music, anything that you like. You can afford time for it, of course.
All right, so speaking of teaching and math and music, many geniuses of the past, they had this hobby. They played some of the music instruments, either violin or flute or maybe piano. So how about you? Do you think that playing musical instrument can actually enhance brain activities or make people smarter? Do you recommend playing musical instruments to your students sometimes?
Of course. We should encourage them to, participate in learning the other activities rather than just studying. It's a really great idea to encourage our children to participate in, other activities like sport, like music. It will help them, to discover their own talent in the other fields, not just studying. Definitely, yes.
I understand. So once again, music and math, do they somewhere on the way cross their path?
Connected, right?
Yeah, connected.
Somehow, yes. Especially in the timing, we have rhythm in music, which basically is we'll count 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. It's very basic, it's not that much connected to each other. But I think in that idea of rhythm, when we say 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, it's very basic. Yeah, somehow connected, of course.
That is great. So maybe now, if you're ready, you could play something for our audience.
Oh, sure. I'm gonna.
I know that you prepared some few favorite pieces, right? So one of them is.
Yeah, the first one is gonna be the Kurdish folklore one, which we call it Nergiz Nergiz, and inshallah you will be, happy about that.
So now could you please explain and introduce it to our audience, because some of the people, they are not aware of the Kurdish folk music. Whoever is watching maybe in other countries. So
yeah, this piece is rearranged by our great master and teacher of all of us, Mr. Dilshad Saeed, which is one of the greatest living talents in this world, actually, to my opinion. And he, rearranged this Nergiz Nergiz, which is a Kurdish folklore, and it belongs to, I don't know, I'm not sure, maybe 10 or 20 years ago, or 30 years ago. Which I just know that it's a Kurdish folklore song.
All right, so I think we're all ready to hear that piece.
Oh,
so
definitely.
Please. amazing, beautifully
Thank
played.
you,
I couldn't
thank
hold
you.
myself. I wanted to stand up and dance and clap.
Yeah,
Thank you so much.
Yeah, I hope you would like
That was
it.
great. Yes, I loved it. And I'm sure everyone who's watching also liked it a lot. So once again, I can't stop talking about how music effectively, enhances the brain, right? And it's very important apart just from doing study to practice some music. And also as a teacher, I know that you have a lot of funny stories connected to your students, and one of them is about being smart actually.
Yeah, I recall once I asked one of my students, okay, I was explaining a concept on the board, and suddenly this is my way of teaching. I will try to involve the students in the conversation.
Yeah.
This is my way of teaching actually. Then suddenly I asked that student, I said, okay, I said this right? He said, yes, mister. Okay, what's the reason of this? Why? He said, well, mister, I don't know, to be honest. Then I just, passed the question to the another student. I asked him, okay, so your friend said, I don't know. What do you think about my question? He said, he looked at me like this. Mister, do you really think that I'm smarter than him?
So yeah, sometimes students, they can give you such an incredible answers, and that is a really funny story.
Exactly.
All right, so speaking of this
Oh, the
composition.
the Bach concerto,
Yes.
right?
So I think
Shall I play
we're
it for you?
all ready to hear it now as well.
Okay.
Yes, please. That is great. You guys, everyone who's watching, we need to give Mazhar a round of applause. Thank you so much. That was amazing. That was beautiful.
Yeah,
Honestly,
thank you.
classical music is such a heartwarming
Yeah,
thing,
and
which whenever you hear it, it takes you to a different world.
definitely,
actually.
and it's not easy to play actually. I try to do my best, and I shall. I hope you.
Speaking of that, yeah, I loved it. Honestly,
I
thank
hope
you
I
so
was
much. I appreciate
good
that.
for you.
Also, speaking of practice, once again, we spoke about how time-consuming it is to teach, and also how time-consuming it is to practice, especially practice to play play musical instruments. My question is, when did you first start playing the flute?
Well,
You said that it was in your childhood, but when exactly? So we can give a brief explanation. How long does it take to become professional?
Well, I won't consider myself to be professional actually. There is another definition of being professional, definitely. We can say semi-professional at the intermediate level who wants to go, upper and advanced level, maybe. I started to play the flute when I was 12, I think. Yes.
12.
Yeah, as I told you, my first teacher was my uncle Ismail.
Yeah.
He helped me to learn the flute, the beginning. Then I changed my master and my teacher. Another teacher was Mr. Ahmadi from Harvard. Nowadays, I'm working with Mr. Mazhar Ahmadi from Tehran, online classes. We do have online classes.
You still practicing and you learning with a teacher. You
Definitely,
don't just do it by
yes.
yourself.
Yeah, because you need, there's some points and some, should be taught by a professional one. You cannot gain it by yourself. You cannot achieve them. So yes, definitely, you need a teacher, a professional to show you the way. Those things that you don't know. You think you know, but you don't actually. So yeah.
And I also know that you're now working on one important and very difficult piece.
Oh, no, well, let's say not very difficult, but to me it is
Yes.
difficult because I'm just starting, you know, to play it. Yeah,
Because
it's
people
challenging the first. Yeah, as Sir James Galway says, it's the Rimsky-Korsakov, Nikolai Rimsky-Korsakov greatest tests. So yeah, it's one of the challenging pieces written by Korsakov, Russian composer.
Great. So because a lot of people they think that, all right, you know, it's easy for you. You play flute. You just can take the flute out and then start playing whatever you want to.
It's just,
but it's
you know,
not the case.
time-consuming process. You need to play it again and again and again and again. And, you know, to make this sound beautiful, this is important, how this instrument, you know, how is the sound? Maybe if you compare two flutists, the sound of this one is going to be different from the other one because they're produced another way of, you know, producing sound. So you must to try, you know, to play as complete as possible, you know, perfectly. So yeah, it's challenging.
How long you've been practicing to play this part?
Well, I think it's been 1 year.
1 year.
Yeah, but not continuously, of course.
Yeah.
You know, 1 month, then I put it away. I'll play another one. You know, yeah, it takes time, but you can, of course. But practicing everything is possible. Which is again, Masana, this is for me difficult, right? Because I just started. It's not difficult for all, you know, for the older flutists.
So Mazhar, you've been in Erbil for 3 years now, and I know that every time changing the countries and living in different places usually changes your point of view. It changes you as a person. So what changes have you noticed in yourself, and what did you learn through this time?
The first thing that I saw is the eternal heat. You know, eternal summer never ends.
Okay.
It's always, you know, summer.
So you learned how to adapt to this weather?
Definitely, I'm better, but at the beginning it was, you know, horrible to adapt myself with this new environment, which everywhere is, you know, scorching, you know, hot. It was very difficult. But with the people that I'm working with, they are very generous and very kind, professional. I like them all. You know, I learned a lot from them, from my manager, my principal, and, you know, how to be, you know, responsible to the school. Of course, I learned a lot because the experience that I got here, actually, I have it now, was the first, you know, first job that I got officially. So yeah, I gained a lot of experience, and thanks to the Kurdistan and the Erbilian people, and especially the school, of course.
And that is the same what I've noticed. People here are really generous, and their hospitality is just immense.
Definitely,
you know?
definitely.
And this is a lot to be grateful for. And speaking of that, I know that you have another piece prepared for us. It's another Kurdish
folklore music, which
yes.
is sung by our amazing, you know, singer Hassan Zirek. Right?
All
Shall I
right.
play it, right?
Yes, yes, we are all ready. was amazing. That was
Thank
great.
you.
I'm sure everyone who's watching also enjoyed that. I feel like today I attended a concert, and thanks
Thank
to you
Nice.
for that.
It's very nice of
Honestly,
you, Ms. Dana.
it's not very often here in Erbil you get to hear live music, and especially classical instruments and
Right.
classical pieces. So I really appreciate
Thank you once again. Ms.
your
Dana.
effort and your time for visiting our program on Cambridge TV, My Home. And thanks for all the valuable advice you gave to our audience, to our students and parents watching. And then maybe you would like to say something else?
Of course, once again, thank you, Musana, dear Musana, and all the Cambridge staff and the audience who are watching us on Cambridge TV. Thank you once again.
All right, so that's it for today. And while watching, I suggest to give another round of applause for our guest, for today's guest. I will see you, and I will see you all on the next episode of My Home program. Bye.